أدما يا حي يا قيوم على لا إله وكلوا يا حي يا قيوم على لا أبتي كبرمجي يا حي يا قيوم على لا.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Alhamdulillahi Kula Al. Welcome to another episode of Eternal Bliss, a program of Nasrullah Al-Fatih Society, NASFAT. We welcome you to another exciting episode. Inshallah, today we'll be discussing a very broad topic which I want everybody to sit, relax, and learn. What's the topic for discussion today? Is managing people for strategic advantage, Islamic perspective. I'm still the same Balogun Lajide Nuruddin. Inshallah, with me today in the studio is my co-colleague.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much, Brother Nuruddin. Like Brother Nuruddin has said, this is another fresh episode, and we are bringing forth to you a topic that you will find very, very interesting. Inshallah, in the studio today, we have our guest who will be doing it with us today. Today, we have in the studio, we have Alhaji Abdulrahuf Ayodeji. He is the Vice President 1 for Nasrullah Al-Fatih Society, NASFAT. He is the CEO, founder, Think Startup, Beyond Borders Incorporated. With all pleasure, I welcome our guest today to the program. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, sir.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah, you're welcome to the program.
Welcome, sir.
Like Nuruddin has said, we're looking at managing people for strategic advantage, the Islamic perspective. I want to start with this. When we talk about this topic, what category of people are we talking about?
What my focus here, based on what I've been briefed, my focus will be on managing people that constitutes any Islamic organization. You know, we want to talk about Mahdiya, Hazaruddin, Nasfat on his own. How do we manage the people? Because we have it on authority that we've seen how the Prophet Muhammad managed all his Khalifa, managed all his followers over time. Was it so strategic on the way he did it? Why are we now running to the present moment that we are using diverse and we all have to go and borrow modern ideologies of managing people when we already have it on the authority of Islam? It's in the Quran, it's in the Sunnah, and that's what we're trying to let people understand here today. That managing people entails a lot. Yes, but the Prophet Muhammad has been the main pathfinder to this. He has done it in a different way, and we need to learn more about that. So we as Muslims, we must be focusing on what we have got as our foundation from beginning. A lot of us, because of our modern education, we've forgotten about what's in the Quran, what's in the Sunnah, and that's what we're trying to put people across today.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. That will take us to the next question. What exact aspect of their lives are we managing?
When you talk about strategic management in Islam, the focus is having organization justice. That's our focus. That's the basis. So, organization justice in everything that pertains to those that we are all managing. We know in every society there are different levels of people. Are we doing justice to every one of them? If you have an organization that your focus is just on a particular set of people, you are not doing justice. That one is not strategic. You are trying to what you are trying to do is to cause division. But as a Muslim, and you want to be strategic in your management of people in any organization, you must focus on the needs of every set of the organization so that there will be justice. What this sector is looking for, they can get it. What this sector is looking for, they can get it. It's not that focusing only on certain sector.
Particular sector.
That's not justice.
Alhamdulillah. When we talk about this strategic advantage, what kind of advantages are we focusing on this very different sector of the people's society?
I'll continue to refer to the Prophet Muhammad.
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
If you look at the caliphs of the Prophet, looking at Ali, Usman, and all of them. Every one of them have specific purpose in being part of the jihad of the Prophet. There's one that has nothing but just money. There's one that has nothing but has strength to do the work. There's one that has nothing but you understand human management. So, in any society, for you to have a strategic advantage, you must remember what I said from the beginning. There must be justice. If there's justice, that means when you are creating justice, that means you are taking clue from every sect of that society. We must now see how we can harness the strength of each of these sects. When you harness the strength of each of those sects, that implies that we're already taking advantage of we're making everybody to have an advantage. If what I have is my time to use for society and I can provide that time regularly, let me use that my time, which is my strength, and let me be more productive and impactful, and let me have a reward for what I'm contributing. Some will come with money, let them bring their money. Some people will have money, they may not have what it takes to even run perfectly. So what I'm only trying to say is that there are strength of every sect in any society, whether educated, whether not educated, whether they are rich, whether they are traders, whether they are NURTW members. What matters most is that they will all have certain strength that we must focus on, and we must see how we can use that strength that the society, that we are managing, will leverage on those sets to bring development to society. And we must take note, in Islam, they call something HRM. In Islam, our focus is HRD.
Not HRM.
Not HRM. It's human resource management. But in Islam, it's human resource development. In the modern management, they focus more on human resource management. But in Islam, it's human development. Because everybody, there's nobody, no members of any society that does not have certain things that you need to tap from it. So, as a leader in any society, your focus will be that strength in that person, whether it's showing or not showing, how you can get it developed to leverage and grow the society.
Allahu Akbar.
A case in hand is the NASFAT as a society. As far back as 1995, when we started, you can see that it's purely dominated by the elite. And because we were doing it in a room managed by the current chairman of Board of Trustees. He was managing elite, but as we launched ourselves to the public, the mass movement came in. And there's nothing that we can do because that mass movement is what is giving NASFAT its name today. Because the elite that started it were just the fruits. But eventually what germinates from that fruit are different set of people. And over the time, the leadership of the societies take note of that. They know that that is what is caused diversity in the society. And they have been leveraging on that different components of people that have joined, especially the mass. Without the mass today, there's no NASFAT. Because most of these elites are already grown up. And some of them even come to the society occasionally. The people that have been holding the society is the mass. Every location you see NASFAT is that mass. So that tells you the strategic management thing has started from the small elite that came to have a mass, and over time, the leaders that have been coming to society to manage society have been growing it using the mass. And some of the mass have started changing their own path too. We have a lot of the mass. I will take our missioners, for example. When we started NASFAT, our missioners are Moricas. Most of these are the products of Moricas. And if they are not products of Moricas, it will be from one Islamic centers, either in the southwest or in the north or wherever they come from. But over time, when they see that they are mixing up with the elite, the presidents are elite, they are professionals, most of the executives are elite, are professionals, they start see the reason why they must go and read too. And now we have a lot of our missionaries that are graduate. We must get one thing clear. NASFAT did not set up to have missionaries as a controller of a society. Missionaries are meant to be partner owners of the society. And we make it mandatory at the point of starting that all our missionaries must be graduate. And that echo in some of these missionaries, especially at the HQ, and look at most of our missionaries today, but I don't want to mention names, a lot of them are PhD holders. And we are proud of it. That is what is called strategic management. It's over time that strategic development. We're not using strategic management. Because we're developing a lot of people. People from one sector is moving to another sector. We're rubbing on each other. Many elites today will agree with me that no matter what we think we are as elite of this society, we have been able to learn what I call native intelligence from the mass. Because there is the mixing of that divine guidance spiritually and the native intelligence from the mass that has helped the society to grow to this level.
Discussing managing people for strategic advantage. Looking at it from the Islamic perspective, is with us the Vice President one for NASFAT, Alhaji Abdurrauf Ayodeji. The program is still Eternal Bliss, the program of Nasrullah Elefati Society. The Vice President one for NASFAT, like we said before now, Alhaji Abdurrauf Ayodeji, discussing this from the Islamic perspective, what element is required in instilling these advantages in people?
What must be clear to us as Muslims is that when you want to do strategic advantage, managing people for strategic advantage, there's what we call amana. You know, there's no way you can have organization justice if you don't hold amana to high esteem. You know, is that trust, the confidence, you know, and that's why in Islam, as when you are picking leaders, you only allow divine guidance to be your. Immediately you start being sentimental about certain material things, we may not be able to get to where we're going. So amana, I think, is so critical. That confidence, the trust that people, and again, except in rare cases, you know, we could have it in rare cases. It's always good for leader to grow with the community. For you know, look at the way the Prophet Muhammad you know, he felt so bad even the time he wanted to move from Mecca to Medina, that he's leaving his own people, but without knowing that Almighty Allah has another plan for him. That the Medina that you are going, you see easy people that will be able to accept your values, and then you come back and turn your people towards this. People don't see the strategic managing of people in that kind of a practical session I would say in the Prophet, because that's why as a leader sometimes you must look beyond the upper cadre in your society when you are looking for solution. The solution may be at the bottom end of that society. So if you want to be strategic and want to manage people strategically and have a strategic advantage, you must be holistic in the way you manage the organization. You must be holistic in the way you view, just like in a family. Sometimes you sit down in a family, you want to solve the problem, and the person that you don't see as the one that is the cause of the problem may be the one. Maybe because it's quiet, it's calm, or if you don't look deeply and steadily and start studying, you will not get it. You continue to blame the wrong person for a particular problem. So in finding solution, you must be holistic, but you can't be holistic if you are not honest to yourself in the real sense of it. Because some people will be holistic with biased mind. That will not give you solution. You must have a fair understanding of the constraints of your society that you are managing as a family, and knows the weakness and strength of everyone, and never use the weakness of anyone to apportion blames to him, you know, or her. You always ensure that you are fair and there's equity and fairness in what you are putting across.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. What we have been looking to so far is managing people for strategic advantage. Well, we so much appreciate you for sharing your knowledge with us. But Jazakumullah khairan, guys, you have mentioned amana as one of those ingredients, those elements that we need to instill in people. Are there other ways? For instance, let me start an example. We have PR committee in NASA, for instance, and people that are there are professionals in the media industry. I think this is a way to identify people who can be beneficial, that can be useful in that kind of committee. Are there other things that we can actually do to strategize so that we can have this advantage to the development of the society?
Oh, thank you. I think what we need, we must understand, you know, we are talking theoretically. If we want to be more practical about what managing people for advantage. If you want to bring it down to let's pick a case in hand, which is NASFAT. From the beginning, 1995 till date, what I said is we have been leveraging on strategic advantage. That's why we move on. At the beginning, what we need at the beginning is to have it. And then as at that time, we don't even have any committee. But every one of us, we are all professional in different ways, and we bring our resources to make sure that society is growing. And to this level that we have today, if you want to manage to advantage, today, I can say it anywhere. NASFAT is only managing based on about maybe 2-3% of the constraints of what the society, and the concentration has been on that 2-3% over the years, and they are getting tired. So for us to take advantage of managing leverage, we need to now look at the constraints of the society, the traders, the market women. Every one of us, like I said earlier, have our own strengths. How can we leverage on it? NASFAT on its own today is a big market for people selling. You can imagine what volumes of fruits, what volume of food that NASFAT member will buy. Is there no way we can have a market? You know, we just set up a trade.
Ramadan market, yes.
Is there no way we can have a market in all our locations that will be the one selling to these people? That is managing for advantage, managing people for advantage. That's one aspect. Then the professionals are there. We've been talking about, so look at the current National Executive Council. We have an agenda that we call health, education, livelihood, and dawah. What do we do with our health? There are professionals among us that are pharmacists. There are those that are doctors. I think during this month of Ramadan, or even beyond, there's nothing like we constituting a team like that will be practically for primary health care in all our viable locations. What we are trying to do is that they are providing services. They may not make as much as if they are at their home, but they are doing their work. And people from outside will come more and more to join NASFAT because they know they will be able to have access to good health care because we're using professionals, just like you have it in the media. If not for media today, that's why we don't have what we have today. It's because the media committee, the media teams were thinking proactive, and that's what we are leveraging on. You know how much it will cost us to get a consultant to set up this kind of studio for us, but because we are leveraging on the members, so we're managing also for advantage. We have institutions whereby we need event centers. Many members in our societies have event centers. We always get at the leverage. Some places have become so synonymous with NASFAT. People will think they own NASFAT owns the place, but we don't own it. We are leveraging on people that own it, that are members. And so on. Look at what we have in Abuja now. NASFAT in the Taco branch. NASFAT to Taco branch is like today is like I call it a supermarket center for Muslims. Because so many things, especially this Ramadan, if you go to that, people walk into a NASFAT to Taco branch and drop something because of what it is that we're doing, that this society. But we have not done much. So, and that's why I love this topic, especially during this Ramadan, so that Muslim will own it. That anything they talk strategic or managing for leverage advantage, it's Muslim that owns it. And we should be able to know, in managing for advantage, we're not just managing. Our own is not HRM. Our own is HRD. So, as members of a media committee on the PR committee now, we have young PR guys that just qualified. They will learn and leverage over that. It's still part of money because they're going to have that value. And look at our youth. In Fountain University, our youth, they decided that they're going to put a basketball there. That will cost them about 20 million. Some people say, how will the youth? But they know each other. So I think in managing for advantage, people for advantage, we must know the people. There's no way we will not profile the NASFAT membership. Let's start our real profiling. We don't know much about ourselves. Members that come, some people will come once in a month. Let's profile and know those ones that comes once in a month. And why do they come once in a month? Maybe that's the time they are free.
Exactly.
So that we can continuously assessing them. If they come once in a month and we don't know until they come next month and we still allow them to go, there are reasons why they are not there for the other 3 weeks. So it's better for us to start profiling, identify people of certain category that have certain characteristics and have certain quality in them, identify people that even need, not just people that will give. There are certain people that if you profile them, they need it. That's what they need may be so small that if you provide it for them, it become a mega value in them and it will add value to the society.
Exactly.
Those are the examples.
Alhamdulillah. That has been an interesting one. It is important that every society you belong to, either you're a professional or you are just somebody who is trading or doing business, there is an important thing for you to do. Let that impact of what you have be reflected on the society you have. Alhamdulillah, we have been talking to Alhaji Abdul Rahuf and Jodeji, but I want at this junction to kindly give us a piece of advice. I mean, to the society as a whole, to individuals, so that we can actually use our society, our organization, to propagate Islam well and even make humanity to be better for all. Your advice before we leave.
It's simple. As we have our role model is Prophet Muhammad.
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
He remains the role model forever.
MashaAllah.
So, if we want to be useful as an individual in a society, because there's no society without the individuals. It's various individuals. We just spoke about NASFAT. The young elite that started it were just few of them. There are so few, and today look at the mass we have, and this mass have been influencing. So, as an individual, just don't look back in service. Never look back in service. Whether you are gaining, whether you are not gaining, whether you are making money, whether you are not making money, whether there's any value that anybody is giving you, just don't look back. Continue to give service. If we have any of such people in an organization that are giving service, the organization will grow. As an individual, whatever you have as your own resources, use it very well for your society. If it's money Allah has endowed you with, spend that money wisely. If it's time you got, spend it for the society, and the society can become larger and bigger and better, and then we can leave a legacy for our children.
Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alamin. That is it. Leave a legacy for our children. When you contribute to your own quota, and I do mine, definitely we're going to have a very big legacy for every humanity. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alamin. We say Jazakumullahu khairan to Alhaji Abdul Rahuf Ayoteji, the Vice President one for Natural Life and Society NASFAT, and the CEO, founder, Think Startup Beyond Borders Incorporated. We say Jazakumullahu khairan, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. May Allah reward you abundantly. Alhamdulillah. Abdul Nuruddin, I think that is the time for us to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like we should just remain on the program. We have nothing more to say. May Allah preserve you upon goodness, guidance, and greatness.
Ameen.
We say Jazakumullahu khairan. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you. Ramadan Kareem to our viewers and my guest.
Thank you so much. It is now we call it a day on today's edition of Eternal Bliss. My name is Fauzia Salakosani. Join us again, inshallah, tomorrow. Don't forget, do your own quota to make humanity a better one for everyone to live in. Assalamu alaikum.
That's my name. We'll meet tomorrow again, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.